Their
Really
engines are
laughing.
completely offline. Could you do me a favor, Cattle? Could you do me a favor? Roll me a perception intelligence check as you quickly jump onto the scanners.
They shit themselves, then vent it into
They are
space.
boarding ship. Yeah.
The engines are offline, and the ship has sustained so much damage that the engines are offline, and auxiliary power is not maintaining life support for them.
Ooh,
I mean, this ship is not just dead in the water.
it's dead.
It is. It's dead. So here you guys are, with a dead ship in front of you. What do you do? The combat's over.
we-
It's done. The
Can we
combat.
scan
I
them?
get on comms. Cracks, you can stop shooting now. Auxiliary power over there is failing.
Don't forget,
They're
you guys are
gone.
bridge. You don't really need comms. You're right next to each other. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
You get on comms.
Bring it
He's over
forever.
there.
That Winnie can hear.
High five.
I am including Winnie in this conversation, damn it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I figure we have like open comms anyways.
It's just like Borderlands, where if you walk far enough away, it goes
Yeah,
onto
or just-
comms. But otherwise,
That's what I
it's all
figured.
close enough.
That way you could just walk away. Be an
Cracks-
asshole.
Because
Like
Cracks
an
is in
asshole.
he's
Very
in pirate
rude.
mode right now. He's going to like stand up, turn to Connell, and be like, "Scan their ship, see how many are aboard."
Oh, I will definitely run all the scans. Sure.
Sure.
Just bear in mind that they did call for reinforcements, and loitering would. be
Yeah.
bad.
We're
You
not going
zip
to be able
away,
to scan
They're
anything here.
unlikely to trace our wake.
No, Cracks actually just smiles when she says that. And if we make them jettison their cargo, those other ships will be busy picking it up.
So
Now that's actually smart.
Yeah.
That's actually really smart. He's a
Left-
pirate.
Mm-hmm.
Their friends are dead, but oh look, loot.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Well, we might as well get what's here.
Yeah, we can like just get some of the cargo, and then they'll be picking up the rest. That's genuinely smart.
Yeah.
Look, I played enough pirate games to play a pirate.
So you guys are as you like give all these orders and you have this like, no, Cracks, like that was brilliant, like that was a good idea. So listening to what you guys want and whatnot, Tremi is going to fly as close as possible to the ship so that you can run a complete scan of the ship easily, and she's going to aim the ship like the way the ship is facing to make sure she can get the flip out of flop quickly if she needs to, but while making sure that the guns are still, it's within the radius of attack, because the guns don't have a 360 radius turret, you know what I mean? They have like about a 180, probably closer to like say a 145 radius of attack. So
Yeah.
so she gets it so he can still hit it, but she can get out of there quickly if need be. So approaching, you do your scans of the ship.
Perception intelligence again?
Please. Okay.
Oof.
So you're scanning the ship and whatnot, and one of the things that you notice as you go to scan the ship is their emergency power seems to be down, as we discussed beforehand. So it's not like they have countermeasures trying to stop the scanners of your ship. However, the huge power fluctuations that you have in your own ship right now are drawing so much towards the guns that he's actively doing auto-targeting and targeting himself and whatnot for at the ship in case he needs to blow it the fuck up, that it's affecting the power levels of the sensors. You're not able to penetrate their hull and see what you're trying to figure out.
Would I be able to access their databases by any way? I imagine I wouldn't, since their power is now massively failing.
They're not going to have any, like, their systems are offline. There's nothing that you can hack into.
Yeah, fair enough.
You can't even penetrate their hull at the moment anyways with that roll. So not yet. Maybe if you were to get closer and try again, try to like reach out and see what you can find. But at this range, the power spikes are just too poor.
Okay,
Do we
I
know
will
where
get
the
a...
cargo is on their ship? Like the cargo area?
I'm gonna just say yes, because does anybody here have like a lore of 1?
No.
No.
I don't think anyone does.
I have lore 0, if that helps.
Then lore 0, you're gonna have an easier time rolling. Why don't you roll me a lore intelligence check?
I mean, technically, I have a 1. It's a -1.
Actually, yeah, you do know exactly where their cargo area is on the ship, and you can see, like, it's one of those with the scans. So you're not running any more scans. You're literally running off the ones that you already have, like on your display. Kind of like rotating it around. You can see where the door is to take it in and out. You can see, and with your initial scans that you got, you can see that area of the ship is quite large, and it's even got two different sections to it: the pressurized section and the not pressurized section. Because they carry they're scavengers. They grab what they can. So.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, so
considering all the things are
I say-
down,
hold on, wait a second.
just shoot it.
Winnie.
Yeah.
W-I-N-N-I is pronounced.
It's pronounced Winnie. It doesn't have an E at the end though.
I think I spelled
You spell it
correctly
occasionally.
in-
with
You
these.
don't
I used
spell
to spell it
at
wrong,
all.
but after you yelled at me like 3 days ago, I started spelling it correctly. Yeah.
Also, you still have no idea how Karen's name spells.
I
at
know
all.
how that one is now. Actually, it is K-Y-R-A-N-N.
He's just
He yelled
bad
at me and now I
at
know.
names. He doesn't get names.
I'm actually, surprised he remembers my name.
Cracks? Oh, I love cracks.
No,
It's like,
Frank.
oh, Frank. Frank, I
Cracks,
remember.
right?
Cracks,
Yeah,
cracks, yeah. You were forever more cracks, okay? All right, so going
That's
on.
fine. I look like him.
I would just say, if we know where the cargo is, shoot the
Yeah, shoot
holds
the
open.
cargo hold.
Sure.
Everything will float out. We can collect a little bit before we take too long, like probably no longer than an hour, right?
Rax's other suggestion is probably a couple of them might have been in scavenger suits, or just getting ready to board us or whatever, so they might still be alive. Just radio over and tell them to jettison their cargo, and we'll let them live.
It was worth a shot, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
mean,
I
it's a
will.
free
I will
action.
do that.
Okay,
I
I'm
will,
going to allow you to do that. You're going to be making your, I assume you want to use charisma, a talk charisma check.
What a coincidence.
However, with the guns clearly aimed at it, the amazing everything that you just did, so on and so forth, you are definitely getting a +3 on this roll. And I will remind you, you do have a pool of luck if you wanted to do that. Oh, you actually already have that. You already have 3D. You don't need to worry about 4D. So you're good.
I was about to say you're gonna have to have the major negatives for literally blowing their fucking ship up, but no. All right.
Oh!
That's a 16.
Oh, a fucking critical hit! You got a 16!
It's futile.
Are you kidding
That
me?
works.
Oh my god! Oh, that is incredible. Okay. Yeah.
So there is someone on that ship, and they do jettison the cargo.
Okay. So
Only that. They sent over a flower basket to apologize.
because their systems are offline, you're kind of reaching out to them for their their personal unit comms or whatever is how they're going to have to be able to collect the information, send it back. Their ship is not able to broadcast at the moment, but you do get a so you give this command probably 2 or 3 times because you know it's going to take them a moment to respond, right? So you give this command about 2 or 3 times, and then finally you hear a response that's almost like a futuristic form of Morse code coming back through to you as you almost get like signals of static and messaging coming in, letting you know that we read you, like don't fire. It's not very specific on what they're giving, but you get that message, right? So so you might be able to fiddle with your comms to more directly hit their suits if you wanted to, but for now, unless you want to, don't worry about it. So moving on, you go up to them and my brain just stopped for a second there. So you go over to like watch the scans and see what they do, and all of a sudden you see the depressurized area opens up and stuff just starts kind of like free floating out on its own. And then you notice that over in the what they end up doing is for the pressurized area of the cargo, they end up jettisoning it in such a way that it literally, because the pressure launches it out towards your ship. Like it literally goes and heads out like launched at your ship, and ends up like hitting the side of your hull with like a ting. Maybe it surprises poor Winnie down below, like where it's like all of a sudden it just hits the side of the ship itself. But yeah, it hits the side of the ship, and it's sitting right there for easy grabs.
All right, I will at this point suggest that we grab whatever they just flung at us
How
and then
long
get out of Dodge.
will it take to grab it?
Several minutes. I mean, there's no air or anything down below, so Winnie could easily just like open things up to space.
Open it and just like scoop it in. Just cargo scoop it, basically.
Yeah, she would just have to talk to Tremi and try to give
Sounds
Tremi
good.
a little bit of direction, so Tremi can kind of like maneuver the ship to pick it up.
Oh, yeah, I'm okay
do
with
that.
that then, if we can grab all that.
Okay?
And then we just GTFO.
Yep, and that's for
Okay.
the pressurized stuff. You're not really worried about the stuff that was like just kind of floated free.
We gotta leave something
No.
else for other
We
people
need
to
to
scavenge.
leave some of it
Okay,
as
awesome.
decoy, more or less.
When for the pressurized stuff, Krax gets off the weapon console. He grabs his weapon and goes down to that cargo hold. Freaking puts his boots on. He does not trust this.
If you go down to the cargo hold
I mean,
at
that's
the
fair.
moment, if you go down to the cargo hold at the moment, so more or less you give this order and you're going to do that before Winnie opens the door, obviously.
Yeah.
So you're like, yep. And you get off of weapons
Like-
and head down there. We're just going to assume, Ollie, say her name for me again. I'm so sorry.
Entree.
Atari.
Antari.
Entree.
Monterey.
Entree. I love the sound of it. I just always say like entree or something like that, like mortuary.
Because you're American and you can't
No,
pronounce
It's
just
it.
just
say-
crap. Yeah.
Just say Ontari.
So entree.
On the contrary.
On the contrary, thank you. There's a word I can associate it with because I keep thinking mortuary. So entree. Oh fuck. Moving on.
That's
Entree.
morbid.
You'll
I
never get it
imagine
right.
you
It doesn't matter.
I imagine you immediately go over and sit down in the weapons seat just so somebody's there. He grabs his weapon.
Yeah.
He goes over, opens the door. There's a little flow of air down there as he goes in, seals the door up behind him, and heads over. Gives like Winnie that nod. Winnie, you open up the door, so now there's like you still have gravity in your yeah, you still have gravity in your area because you wouldn't have shut that off. And you guys now have the boarding tubes area open to space, but not the boarding tubes active. Tremi's going to start making her pilot checks to try to navigate and get where it is. A combination of words from Winnie and sensors from Cattle will be what directs her. This is going to be a pilot, unfortunately, dexterity check, which is a skill that she doesn't have a +1 in. Because I rolled like Garbo. But she gets an 8. So it takes several minutes to kind of line things up easily to do so. And it's kind of, you guys have a choice. You can choose either speed or I suppose safety. Safety is you let her line it up perfectly and kind of like drop the ship down enough and you guys can use like grav lifts or whatever to pull it towards you and get it in no problem. Or she lines up the ship, you throw like a line on either Krax or Winnie and have them jump out the vessel to grab it and pull it in. Which do you think is easier?
I kind of was assuming that's what Krax wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think he probably will start doing it no matter what. So I think that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
It's literally I'm there for security and to grab the stuff.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So that's the speed one. So as she's kind of gliding up the ship, Krax kind of like points over at one of the lines, and Winnie will like bring it over to him and attach it to him, and he just grabs it and like jumps off and he like
he's done this
walks up to the edge
before.
and launches himself out towards it and literally grabs it before Tremi is even happy with the lining up of it. He's already holding on to it and like grabs the second cable and latches onto that thing too. So you guys are kind of like stuck to it. And Tremi, Winnie's already pulling you back into the vessel itself. Everything's secure, doors lock, and you want to start going. This is certainly the faster way of doing it, which is probably a good idea.
Trax is also saying destroy the ship. They know our profile.
So Krax,
We're the
as soon as the
only
door's
ship
sealed,
with an Alliance shuttle.
as soon as the door is sealed,
But
Krax
shouldn't they broadcast all that information anyway?
potentially.
Potentially, but
Who knows? They
Nobody
might have
says-
just been like, "We have a ship." Who
Yeah.
knows if they broadcast the specifics? Yeah,
But
that's probably a smart
our-
idea.
Oh, we might want Cattle to hear this.
I was gonna say.
I'm
Hello.
listening. Don't worry about that.
part of why Krax wanted them to jettison themselves was to see if anyone was alive.
Smart,
Oh.
smart pirate Krogan.
Wicked smart Krogan.
He has weak
Wicked
intelligence.
smart.
That does not mean he's stupid. That just means he's average.
Mhm.
But this is his profession.
This is what he
so
does.
Yeah. He's
It
stupid
would-
on
yeah.
everything. else,
This is like one of the many situations where Entourage just like kind of leans over the chair and looks at Cattle.
I give him the nod. Like, this makes complete sense to me.
And I guess I fire, but I have no skill.
Oh,
Can we just-
Ollie,
Yeah, I was
fish in
gonna
a
say-
barrel. Fish in a barrel.
There,
it's-
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess they can't move and
Coup
we
de
are
grace.
moving.
Yeah.
I just have to hold the triggers.
We didn't kill them.
Yeah.
We blew up their ship. There's a difference.
Oh, yeah. So the funny thing is, because of the fact that you already blew out the engines, blowing up the ship isn't really a thing anymore. There's not really much left to blow up because the Ezo already
Just
got like
kind of
blown out the
smash
back
it.
and everything.
No,
You're
just
like,
smash it to hell.
yeah, exactly, blowing it apart. If there's any left life support,
Just aim for the
still inside
bridge.
tanks, that kind of makes a little explosions. But yeah, you're just kind of like, you have like two spinning guns shooting. There's like tiny little particles at it at extreme speeds. And honestly, is this the first time Entourage has used guns like this?
Yeah. She'd never been on she'd never run a spaceship before. Yeah.
I imagine just like if you've ever in real life fired like a semi-automatic or an automatic weapon before, it's genuinely an enjoyable
Fun.
like no matter like it's actually fun. Like it's like hey, and she's like obliterating this thing in front of her, and it's like okay, I get it. I see why Crash
Stared into the darkness.
No
child.
wonder
I
Crack's
think
like
she
this.
slightly disagrees, considering she knows she's dooming
Murder.
people. But the Asari religion is kind of actually okay with murder in some situations, so
They probably have metagel on there. It's the will of the goddess.
it
That they
evens out.
Okay, and you shoot the
They'll
fuck
just
out of
become
the
one
thing.
with the galaxy again. It'll be fine.
Now, because you shot the fuck out of the thing and you spent time to like stop and shoot it too, while systems are going to be ready, blah 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 blah. Could you do me a favor, Rick? Can you roll me another perception intelligence check, please?
Something I would
Or
suggest
the
is
entire Turian Navy jumps in.
once the ship looks pretty damaged, is like just start getting out of there.
Yeah,
we can
just
shoot
keep
while we
firing
leave.
it while you're.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say.
That's
I
what I
imagine
was.
it would drive.
Yeah, I thought
by.
we were going to just like fire everything while moving away.
Gotcha. So, yeah, well, I imagine you were doing that, but that doesn't change the fact that time is passing, right?
Yeah.
So, you don't pick up anything on the sensors or anything like that, but then at the same time, you guys know which way, whatchamacallit is, Omega is.
Omega.
But you need to lock on to the nearby star to be able to get to it. You need to like lock on to actually get to that area, and you still don't know exactly where it is. Nobody's spent time poring over like star charts or anything like that yet. So that being said,
So we point in that direction.
was,
we do it later.
Well, you're going to start doing sublight thrusters in that direction. Exactly. What's that, Frank?
Oh no, I was thinking, what was Remy doing? Oh no, she was working on the cargo.
Yep. So,
It's like, oh wait, that's what she was doing.
So you're gonna start doing sublight thrusters. How are you feeling about the power at the moment? Because down below still is missing things, and
I imagine we'll turn the Sandthrower back on.
Yeah, we'll
back
probably
off.
turn the Sandthrower off, I guess.
and
Let me
allow
do that
her
on the
to
sheet.
have the system online and whatnot.
We essentially have a combat setting and a non-combat setting.
Yeah.
Okay. Doing that, I'm gonna decide probably between sessions how many rounds that takes for you to like switch between the two if need be. Probably one combat round, which is 15 minutes.
Yeah.
That makes
switch
sense,
between
yeah.
that, yeah.
We're not doing too many major things in that, just like diverting power and whatnot.
Well, with the Sandthrower offline and the life support back online, we have 2 free power because the workshop's turned off.
Okay. Awesome.
Just
Leaving
keep
the
it off for
workshop offline just means that Winnie can't do certain things, but that's
Yeah,
not the
which
other
she's
way.
not doing that right now, anyways.
No.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, you fluctuate the power and do everything that you're supposed to do. I'm not going to make you make a roll for it. It's pretty easy at the moment. And you guys start blasting forward, making your way to where you need to go. On your way there, you're going to have to try to figure out where you are. Knowing of star charts and whatnot, well, for this sort of a thing, you're going to have to roll me your choice, and everybody is welcome to roll with the data that everybody has in front of them. A no intelligence or a pilot, I said no. Lore intelligence or pilot.
I saw it
should
coming
honestly just
ages
change
ago.
it back to no. It makes more sense. Or pilot.
Yeah,
intelligence.
lore's lore, but do you know what I named it in mine?
What's that?
Savvy.
Fuck you, tell me.
I'm gonna do a pilot, just why not?
It makes sense. You two are friends. You're both nerds.
You're jealous.
Andre is like nothing. She's pretty. That's it.
Tremi,
Hey,
same
that
as
should be-
Grax. We're all
So-
best friends except for Onteri.
Yeah, so Entree and Tremi are trying to look over the sky charts and everything, and sadly, they're just like very outdated and whatnot, and so it's genuinely difficult to try to figure out where you're going, how to get there, with these charts that you have. Even Cracks kind of like walks by, and I don't know, does he give an opinion at all, like "Meh, there, or does he like?
Oh god, because Krax is like, he's getting the Krogan ego now. He's starting to become the
Yeah,
captain in his
things.
own mind. It's like, this was all because of me. This was me. I did all this. He's like, he's like, oh, he turns to Colin. It's like, do you have an update? Where are we?
Okay, so he walks by, and more or less he's asking questions as opposed
Yeah.
to lending aid. So
He's definitely not lending aid. No, he's like, you tell me what's happening. Number 2.
we're actually going to say that Entree and Tremy are speaking to him half of the time, which is what kind of distracts them from being
That
successful.
absolutely makes
That
sense.
probably works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's like they do stuff, I relay it to him, takes forever.
and so Winnie and
Because
and
Cracks
Cattle-
doesn't actually understand this. Yeah. So you have to go into super detail.
Winnie and Cattle. So Winnie's understanding of star charts is just absolutely frigging incredible because of the fact that she literally spends her entire life on a ship. However, as she starts to like point out things that she knows and do things, Cattle's just minds how rapidly is able to do math and whatnot. And she's like, no, this is this star here, and so he just like breaks down the math super fast. And so like it's a combination of her knowledge and his just raw intellect is how it is that they're able to figure out where it is that they're supposed to go. Here it is, this speed, this is what we need, blah, 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 go. Tremy gets online, goes over to the vessel, and starts punching it into light speeds. And actually, because of the fact that the DC, with all the factors included, is so low, we don't have to worry about her rolling if she's not doing anything fancy. If she's just going to go for an approach. She actually gets to do it naturally. So, tick, 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 tick. And as she like gives the command to go, you can actually see her like slump in her chair, like she looks over at Cattle again and gives a very appreciative nod.
I nod back. Things are good. We're not swearing anymore. We're not ripping out consoles going, human.
That's a sign of things going well.
And you
Less
guys
swearing on the bridge.
you guys blast into light speed. So with that being said, I'm actually going to pull up the star chart for you very quickly so everybody can see where it is that you're going. And so you guys were a good distance away from where you wanted to go. Here you are. You're going to whip around, and you're going to be able to, can I highlight this? Oh, no, I didn't give myself permissions for it.
We can't see the names of systems, by the way.
You can't.
No.
You have to select name. You're giving them nameplates, so you have to select name on the next page. View name for everyone.
Oh, I'm not going to do that right now. There's way
No,
too
don't do
many
it now.
No,
I'm just
no,
going
not
to tell
now.
you.
That will take forever.
Yeah,
Later.
absolutely. Okay, and so you do the mash relay jump, boom, and you're able to make your way over there, which is super exciting,
Oh,
and
God.
finish getting your way over into the actual nebula system.
Did you make that a macro that does a special effect when you do it?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I can't complain, really.
No, it looks. I love it, but
Have you seen the
No,
stream?
yeah, it's like it's good and it looks good, but for some reason I'm not happy.
No, like have you seen it? It's kind of fucky.
Oh, it's fun. Go
No,
on,
it's
fun.
great. I love it.
It's special effects in Roll20. They're not the best, but they are satisfying.
It's Roll20.
in some way.
And you guys are able to make your way the rest of the way over to where it was that you were intending to go. And so the ship flies all the way over to the Omega system, which is nice. Now, the thing is, it takes you, 6 hexes, and it's 3 days a hex, correct, Frank? So that's 18 days it takes you guys to get there, which is wonderful because it finally gets you within that system itself. So while you're there, after you finally get there, the 18 days later, you're going to be able to arrive at the system. But let's worry about those 18 days first. We're going to get into the little bits of RP that you can do in the meanwhile, but I'm sure that you're also curious about what you found in that hull. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll
What's
tell you
the
about that
loot?
when we come back from our break. See you all in
Hey.
5 minutes.
Hey.
Bye.
Looting and shooting.